Okay, the Oscar nominations came out today. I will never be early to anything, but let's get through these categories and let's start with actor in a leading role. Okay, I'm pretty happy with everyone nominated in this category. I don't really have too many snubs or anything like that. I didn't see Ethan Hawke in Blue Moon, so I'm going in a little blind, but for my money, it's Timothée Chalamet, and he deserves it here. I feel bad for everyone else in this category, and so many of them do deserve it, but the thing is, for me, Marty Supreme asks way more from Timothée Chalamet than any of these other performances ask from anyone else. One battle after another, Leo isn't really doing all that much in the film beyond his drunken, hazy need to find his daughter. It's a very comedic performance, which he does really good, but it wasn't that much. It wasn't too much that I was really amazed by. He's still very good, but I needed more. There is no real emotional journey I feel goes on with his character. Michael B. Jordan is doing amazing work here. Like, he's really good in Sinners, but for me, Miles Canton is doing a lot of the emotional work of this film, and that kind of shifts a little bit away from everything that Michael B. Jordan's performance is doing. Wagner Moura has a lot to do in this film. He's really carrying the emotional exhaustion of a people in a specific time and place. But Timothée Chalamet, for me, it's just that I went into that film and from the beginning I was really not messing with this character, but he was able to drag me kicking and screaming from really hating this character to being not inspired, because Timothée Chalamet's character is a piece of shit, but I was invested. I was deeply invested into the journey of this character, and that's no simple feat. I don't think a lot of people could have really gotten that across, and it's just the thing where Marty Supreme is just asking a lot more from Timothée Chalamet than everyone else, and so I will be pretty fine with Timothée Chalamet winning. If it's not him, then Michael B. Jordan's also very good, and Wagner Moura would be my 3. In the snubs, I will say it is a little crazy for Joel Edgerton not to be nominated at all. I wasn't a huge fan of Begonia, so I'm not trying too much on the Jesse Plemons snub. I guess if I got to pick some people to be invited into this, it would be Salim Bakri from All That's Left of You or Lee Byung-hun from No Other Choice, but I knew they were not gonna be nominated, so it's whatever. Okay, actor in a supporting. This category is always strange because it's hard to balance it, like the 50 minutes that Delroy Lindo gets in Sinners against the hour and change of time that Stellan Skarsgård and Jacob Elordi gets. It's such a strange category where people who are really supporting characters are forced to sit in with basically co-leads, but whatever. I've been saying it for ages, this is Sean Penn's award, and it's not even close. He killed it. There is no one else who should really be fighting for this award, but everyone's still great, so let's just get on with it. Snubs, I guess William H. Macy, Miles Canton, and Lewis Pullman, since we're just bringing co-leads into this category. I feel a little crazy over here because I really love Paul Mescal's performance in Hamlet, really everyone in Hamlet, but I think there could have been space for Paul Mescal nom or a Jacoby Jupe nomination. Either of these would have been great. I think overall anybody I mentioned could have been taken over Benicio del Toro's nomination. Not that he's terrible, but I just don't really get it. I don't really get what people are seeing in Benicio del Toro's performance. He's barely in the film and he's good. He's really good for what he's in, but there's just so many other people I could have taken over him. I was not really suspecting him to get anything. Okay, actress in a leading. It's Jessie Buckley or Rose Byrne. I have not seen Song Sung Blue, so maybe it's a sneak fantastic performance by Kate Hudson, but for real, no one else is making moves but them in this category. In the snubs, Tessa Thompson for Hedda. She should be here, but no one watched it, so whatever, I guess. Amanda Seyfried, she should have been here also. Her performance would be like my 3rd favorite of the year, but no one again saw her, so that's just life again. Shireen Diabis should be here also and would be like 1 or 2. I think, I don't know, I might actually put it as 1. Her performance in All That's Left of You is just so good. It's just so composed. Also, I'm gonna give it to Jennifer Lawrence, Miss Katniss Everdeen. I really get the people that love Die My Love. I'm a Die My Love lover, but yeah, guys, this is not one we can really stand too strong about because this performance is always gonna be controversial. It's a lot, and I can't really defend this performance on the is this kind of overacting, so we just gotta let this one live. We just gotta let it live. But otherwise, pretty solid category. Actress in a supporting, Tiana Taylor or Wumi Osaka should be leading in my eyes. Also, I think Joaquin Trier is a good director. I'm just not in tune with what he does in his films, so I like the performance and sentimental value, but it's like To me, it's like eating steak covered in a layer of plastic. I'm just really not tapped into the films he makes. So I might be biased against these two performers, but what I'm not biased against is, and just speaking truth and only truth, Amy Madigan. Why is she here? Like, legitimately, are we being so for real by including her in this? No real hate for real, but this is so random. She was good in Weapons, but I have not thought about her performance since that film ended. This could have been so many other people, but you know what? I like Amy Madigan and a lot of other things, so this can only really go so deep with me. In terms of snubs, I guess the snub here would be Chase Infinity. I just don't really think she has a lot to do in one battle after another, but yeah, she just doesn't have enough to do really to really sink her teeth into. So I can't really be super mad that she's not getting a nomination here, but from what I did get from her performance, I think we could really be at the start of something really good with her. So I'm excited to see where she goes next. Animated feature. The Oscars continue to shit all over anime when it comes to this category. Most of these films I've seen them, and let me be real, stuff like Elio and Zootopia 2 should not be here. Arco and Little Emily, I don't know. K-pop, fine, I saw it, I get its cultural impact, so whatever, but come on dog. Chainsaw Man, and Demon Slayer, and 100 Meters. Come on, all of those films blow everything else out of the water. I guess until the next Miyazaki film comes out, anime will just have to not get anything by the Oscars. Casting, this should be Marty Supreme's to lose. I think the use of actual New Yorkers that you would only know if you live in the city was a really cool metatextual flourish. I would give it to Marty Supreme and nothing else. Cinematography, for me, it's Sinners or One Battle After Another. Either of these ones could win and I would be happy with that. Directing, back to the big boy categories, and this is hard for me. Sinners and One Battle have been raging in mind for the last month, but at the end of the day, it's just One Battle After Another. I think this is the better directed film of the two, and I'm completely happy with this getting a win. But if Sinners got it, that would be really good too. Everything else, I don't really see any reason why they should win. Film editing, F1's here and I still don't get it. Personally, I would have liked a chronology of water nomination, but that was never going to happen. But if we're just looking at these, this is a One Battle After Another win, pretty handedly. International feature film, this is the actual best picture category to my mind, and man, yeah, every single film here is just the best thing you can watch. Notable snubs here again are All That's Left of You. It's so good, that would be my winner next to No Other Choice, but we work with the cards we're dealt, and it was just an action should win this. Every film here I can confidently say I love, but this would be the one where I think the background and context of the film add just that touch, and also just the film's quality overall should just lead for it being it was just an accident win. Gonna speed up a little. Costume design and makeup and hairstyling and production design, these should all just go to Frankenstein. I can't really see anything else for these categories. Similarly, music, original score, and original song, it's just Sinners here. I will give a nod to Young Fathers and 28 Years Later and Train Dreams, but it's just Sinners all the way through. I think that was basically just the best of all of them. Sound, F1, I completely get it here, though a Warfare and Chronology of Water pick would have been nice. And visual effects, it's just Avatar, it's Avatar's award, we all know it. I don't even think anyone really is going to debate this one. I feel bad for every other nomination here because you lost this one. Now finally, Best Picture. Immediately, F1, Get Out, I would have taken Weapons over this, but I'm not gonna rage out anymore. For me, the films that I'm quietly not considering are Begonia, Hamnet, Sentimental Value, and Frankenstein. I think these are all good, but Begonia is just not as interesting as I usually expect for Yorgos, and it's hard to look at this and then at Poor Things and not think that we're doing smaller things here. Hamlet, I really love it, but there's a stretch of emotional distance in the beginning half of this film that I think could have been slightly better tuned, and Frankenstein, I just have problems with the narrative. Sentimental Value, I think I've made it pretty clear I'm just not with what Joaquin Trier does. I respect it, but I feel more like I've walked into someone else's therapy session and I'm just awkwardly bumping things around trying to get out. I'm just too distant to the emotions being worked through in his films. The Secret Agent's another really good film, but I think it's a little too meandering for me to really get there fully with it. Train Dreams, Sinners, One Battle After Another, and Marty Supreme, it's a tough fight, but I think it's Sinners here. I think what Ryan Coogler does with connecting the past and the future and holding so much empathy and clarity in this film makes it the best picture for this year. I may change my mind later, but I think this should be the best picture winner at the Oscars. Okay, final category that we can do before we get out of here, just to collect some of the things that I didn't get to talk about while I was going through this list. No other choice. I've talked to death about it, but you know, I still think this should basically win like almost all the awards. Wicked, I'm pretty fine with them getting snubbed here. Maybe controversial, but I don't feel strongly at all about that film. Maybe a song nomination would be fitting, I guess. Odessa Zion, I kind of thought that she was worthy of a nomination. That would have been nice. I would have probably taken her over Ella Fanning, but you know, that's just how it goes. Jim Belushi from Chronology of Water would have been another really good one. From Hedda, I think Nina Haas would have been another great one. And you know how much I loved him, Tessa Tomlinson, at this point. But yeah, that's kind of all the nominations I could think of, all the snubs, everything I thought about with this year's nominations. Look forward to my best films of 2025. Yes, it's still coming out. I take forever to make these things, but that's just how it is.